Abusiafo, Asambaba, all Africa games, stating all African games, Munsem de Doso Papa. But Ghana, Yinchmin Kososa, Debia Eba, Newe, Scandal way. Yeah, must say, SSR, ACG, at once. I think the Ben on mine be calling him. The Ben and crowd more bread on hospitals, nefas, I mean, lack of infrastructure in your like in your papa be because of mine. Mama ye baako na sadie no yen twam. Mama ye baako obi disca. Let's openly reveal that person. Ketsi Joy FM omodi revelations near Ibiaba na masa we yembe show. Sky kosopa sky mo amanfo asa moment why moment that's moment
that been held in August of the previous year, but when the time came we were not ready, so they had to push back the competition, I think by 8 months or so, and we got the right to host this competition all the way back in 2018 thereabout, a long time ago, and we didn't start preparing for the competition. In fact, we got the right in 2017.
No, it was 29th October 2018.
2018, okay.
It was a time.
So we started to make preparations just around the time COVID hit. And so it delayed the project a little bit. I think Isaac Esiama was then sports minister. And then once COVID was over, we sped up with the preparations. But even with that, as of 2022, we still didn't have any single infrastructure available. So the idea at the beginning was that we were going to build a brand new Olympic stadium, 50,000 capacity in Boteman, which will serve as the venue and the center of the games. But the timelines we were running behind schedule, and they thought that it would need more time to complete the stadium, so they changed the plans, and instead of building a fully equipped stadium to host the games, they decided that it was better to build some adjoining facilities at Boteman and then renovate others across the country to complement the facilities that we put up at Boteman to host the game. They called it the hybrid approach. So for the first time in the history of the games, we ended up hosting the games in 2 cities, in Cape Coast and in Accra. In fact, originally they had said 3, but in the end we used 2 cities. Football was played in friends. Obviously the scopes are different. Those ones don't have tracks,
but this one, to complete some 20% remaining,
yes,
it cost $34 million.
Yes, please, thank you. And then you have to look at the games village. So I was talking about the 3 aspects of the major infrastructure where a lot of the money went into. The money went into some other places, like with the hockey. We had to relay the hockey turf. That came with its own issues, and then we had to do cricket over at a Chimota. That came with its own issues as well. And then we had a rugby field. So there were so many other small adjoining facilities, but these are the major ones where the biggest money went to. So Boteman 145 million, University of Ghana Stadium 34 million, and then the Games Village, which was also not built from scratch. The diaspora halls, as they call them in the University of Ghana, say Kwapon, Liman, they decided that instead of building accommodation from scratch, they would go there and then refurbish those facilities to host around 5,000 athletes that we were expecting. And what was the scope of work that needed to be done there? The African Games.
So were they feeding those in the hotels as well?
That's a good question, and those are the reasons why these things need to be probed, because the 12,000 people that they say they fed include all the people that also stayed in the hotels, because that would be the total number of delegates that came for the African Games. So if only 5,000 of them were at the University of Ghana hostels, and then you also have volunteers who were coming in on a daily basis. The rest of the people that stayed at the hotel, how did you feed them? And if you did, how many meals did you give them per day? Because the standard figure they are giving us is that they fed 12,000 people 4 meals per day for, they said 20 something days, right? Instead of 18.
So they started feeding them from 27th before some people arrived early, and they ended on 26th.
12,000, obviously, right?
Yeah, not the whole 12,000.
So let's just work on averages. Let's use the number of days of the event.
The total number of people per what they said it did was 12,923 people, right? And per the agreement that they signed, the hotels too had a responsibility of feeding the people. So according to some documents that I was able to chance on after the LOC had the press engagement last year. Okay, so let me just go through this thing pretty quick so that we'll have a proper appreciation of what actually happened. So this was it. Accommodation service was $2,238,500. Accreditation games management system was $2.9 million. Fan zones and youth camp was $65,625. Ceremonies and entertainment was $4.6 million. Transport service was $966,000. Games family, that's per diem, was $44,100. And games family effort was $175,000. Then they came all the way up to broadcasting, where they said it was $5 million. So
the food, the 50 million, is it there?
Yeah, it's 15,106,875.
Not 50 million, 15 million.
15 million.
15. Okay, I just want to do the maths quickly, because the thing is, I want to do some quick maths here.
Okay, so this was what happened.